another of our lessons here at the Early Childhood Commission. Thank you for joining us. My name is Uncle Derek. Derek runs from the Shortwood United Church Early Childhood Development Center. Boys and girls, thank you for joining us today. Today we have another fun lesson to share with you. Our theme is plants, and we're going to be learning about different things about plants, what they can be used for. And our age group today, 4-year-olds. So all my 4-year-olds are ready, and we are gearing up to talk about plants. Now, I hope today that you know a lot of things about plants, and hope that you have plants at home, and wherever you go, you'll be able to see plants so you can talk and tell me more about plants. So do you know about plants? Tell me what you know. Oh, that song. So let's try it again. Do you know about plants? Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. And if you have a plan today, then you can show. So if you have a plan today, you can show, and we can learn about plants. So who knows what plants are and how do we get plants in our environment, right? And when we say environment, we mean at home or at school, or if we go to mommy and daddy workplace, wherever we go, we're going to be seeing different types of plants. Now, in this first lesson, we're going to learn about different things that plants can be used for. Now, let me quickly show you a real plant that I have today. I hope everybody can see my plant, and you are able to describe my plant by the color that you see. So here's my plant. Yes, and my plant is made up of roots, stem, and leaves. And if you look closely at this plant, you'll realize that what color are the leaves? Great, the leaves are green. Now, there are many different things that we can use plants for. And we're going to be learning about some of those today. And I have some pictures to show you. So, do you know about plants? Tell me what you know. All right, and I'm sure that you're telling me what you know, but I can't hear you just now, but I'm sure you're saying some wonderful things that you know about plants. So what are some of the things that we can use plants for? Great, so I give you a chance to answer, and I'm sure you're giving me some wonderful answers. So here I have a plant right here, right? And you may call this a tree, right? Because it's big, it's huge. All right. And so what we could be using this tree for? Now, this is a special tree, right? And we will see this tree in our environment, whether at home, at school, or if we go on a field trip, right? Remember when we could be able to go on field trips, all right? And we would have seen different trees as we pass in the vehicles, right? So this big tree has many different uses. So in our homes, we have different things. We have something that we sleep on. How do we sleep on? Great, we sleep on beds, right? We have different things in our bedrooms, in our living rooms, in our kitchen, right? And there's one word we can use to describe all these things that I just talked about. Great, furniture. So we have beds, we have dressers, we have chest of drawers, we have all different types of furniture in our homes. And guess what? All these beautiful furniture were made from plants. Yes, trees. So the first thing we're talking about today is that in our homes, and even when we go out and see different things in the environment, trees, they were made from trees. So somebody may say, how do they make the furniture from the tree? Well, yes, they would have cut the wood from the tree, and they would have put it down for some time, prepared it, and it goes through some different kind of things before it is ready to be used to make the furniture. So the first thing we're learning today, boys and girls, is that trees furniture are made from tree, and we can name the different furniture that we have at home, and we can say, wow, I didn't know that. Great. So we can get our furniture from our tree. All right. Now, also, boys and girls, we're in a time where a lot of people are becoming sick, and I do hope all of us are staying home and being safe. And if we do go on the road, that we are also being safe by doing all the things that we should, which is wearing our masks, sanitize our hands, and all those things. But many people are becoming sick these days, right? Now, there are some sicknesses that plants are very good for. And so the next thing we're going to be learning about plants, another very, very good use of plants is that it can be used for medicine. Who likes medicine? Right, I know some of you don't like medicine, I know some of you love medicine, but guess what? Medicine is good for you because it was made to get you better when you become sick. So there are some plants that are very good for medicinal purposes, helping people to get better when they are sick. Now, when I was a little boy, and when my belly hurts, right, and I feel pain, my mommy will get a plant called cerasee. Ever heard about that plant? Yes. My mommy would go and pick some cerasee, or if she doesn't have it at home or in the yard, she would go and get it from someone. And you know what she would do with that cerasee, boys and girls? She would wash it, put it in a pot, pour some water in that pot, put it on the stove, turn the stove on, and allow it to boil. And then she would turn off the stove, pour some of that water into a cup. Sometimes she doesn't put any sugar on it, you know. She gives me to drink. And when I drink that cup of cerasee tea, after a while, the pain goes away and I feel better. All right, so that's one of the plants that that people usually use for medicinal purposes. That means to help people to get better when they are sick. And there are some other special plants that are used to help people to get better when they're sick. All right, so the first thing we said about the plants, boys and girls, that it can be used to do what? To make furniture. So there are some big trees in the forest, okay, that they use to make furniture. But usually, boys and girls, it is always said that when they cut these trees, that they should always plant another one, because we also need the trees in our environment to protect the environment, and so that we can have good rainfall. So the cerasee is one of the plants that we can use for medicinal purpose to help people to get better. There's also another special plant called moringa. You hear about that one? Yes. And if you walk on the road, boys and girls, and if you go into the markets, you will hear people calling the names of these plants, selling them, because they actually help people with different illnesses to get better. So the moringa is another one, and there's another one called the Guinean weed. And this plant grows wild in the yard. I have some at my home as well. And you know what I did with my boys and girls? Because I heard that the moringa plant, or which one am I talking about just now? Great, somebody reminded me. The Guinean weed. It's very good for pain. So when I'm feeling pain in my hands or in my legs or wherever I'm feeling the pain, this is what I do at my home. I prepare my Guinean weed leaf and I put it into a bottle and I throw some, you know what I throw in it? Some rum, right? And I close that bottle and put it away. When I feel some pain, guess what, no boys and girls, I don't drink it, you know? No, this one, no, I'm not going to drink it. This one now, I'm going to rub it on my skin. No, you are not to use this by yourselves, okay? You are not to use it by yourselves. Only mommy, daddy, or adults will guide you into using this. So what am I saying about this, boys and girls? That for some of these medicinal plants, you are not able to do it all by yourself. It is not safe, okay? Because it has to be done a special way. So the plants that are used for medicine should be used by adults who understand what to do, and they will give you the instructions. So do not go and take up mommy bottle from the dresser or from the cupboard and drink or rub up yourselves because you don't know exactly how to do it. Allow mommy to do it. But these plants, some of these plants do help to get people better. And there are many others that mommy and daddy can tell you about. So we learned two things so far about plants. First thing we learned, plants can be used to make furniture. Can you imagine if you never have any bed, any dresser, and these lovely things? What would you have in your homes? Great. So that helps us to understand, boys and girls, that plants are very, very important to us. Okay? Now, some plants, boys and girls, help to beautify our space around us. And the space around us can be called our environment. So whether we are at home, whether we are at school, whether we are at church, or wherever we go, we will see beautiful plants decorating our environment, making it look beautiful. Now here's a picture of a plant that provides beauty for the environment, or what we call decoration. Now, a lot of time, boys and girls, when people are having special events, now I'm sure you have birthday parties, do you? Great. And when mommy and daddy putting on that birthday party, a very big part of the preparation is to decorate the space. So although they may put up a birthday banner and balloons and so on, plants also help to make the space very attractive, very beautiful. And if we should look careful at the plants, boys and girls, the beautiful part of the plant is called the flower. Yes, those colorful parts are called the flower. And we'll recognize, boys and girls, that the flowers are made up of different colors. Are we seeing that? So if you were to describe the colors that you are seeing, what colors are you seeing? Great. You'll be seeing some red, pink, yellow, and there are different colors on flowers. So one of the uses of plants as well, boys and girls, is that they help to beautify our environment. When there are special functions and when a wedding is going to be kept, plants are used to decorate the environment to make it beautiful. When we go to church, we see plants in the church to help the church to look beautiful and for the environment to look really inviting and attractive. So this is our third thing we're learning about plants. Let's go back to the first thing. Plants can be used to make furniture. Second thing we learned, boys and girls, that plants can be used for medicine, to help people who are sick to get well, to get better, all right? And also the third thing we just learned, that plants can be used to beautify the environment. That means to make the environment attractive, to make people love to be in that space, all right? And I have some different flowers here that I can show you, and we can use these flowers to decorate our environment. Wherever we are, we want our space to look beautiful, to look attractive. Here's another flower. Great. And so these flowers, boys and girls, can be used to make what we call bouquets. Right? Did you know that when you go to a wedding and when the bride has a beautiful bouquet, and at a certain time in that wedding, boys and girls, the bride is asked to turn and to throw that bouquet. And somebody always reach to catch that bouquet. And usually they take it home. Maybe they put it up into a nice space because it is beautiful and it helps the environment to look so attractive. So let's go back to the three things we just learned about plants. So we're learning today that plants have different uses. Okay? So the first thing we learned is that plants help to make furniture. Next thing we learn, boys and girls, that plants help to, what's the second thing we learned? Yes, that plants can be used for medicine to help the body to be strong and healthy. Hold your hands like this one. Everybody wants to be strong and healthy. And also plants help to make our space beautiful. Now also, boys and girls, most plants are made from seeds. So we can plant our seeds in the soil. Remember, the soil is that area that we call dirt. Some of us call it dirt, right? But the correct name is soil. And we put our seed in the soil and we cover it. And after we cover it, we have to pour water. Now we can get water by pouring it ourselves, or what's the other way we can get the water? Wonderful, by the rain droplet. So we can have rain water, or we can use water from the top, which is from the pipe, right? To water the plants ourselves. And what we do, the boys and girls, we observe what will happen to that seed. And we recognize that after a few days, we'll see something pops out of the soil. That plant pushes up out of the soil and we continue to water it. And there's another thing that the plant needs so that it can grow, which is the beautiful sunlight. Great. So you can plant your seed and you can watch it grow, give it water. Once it gets sunlight, it will grow. So let's go back to our little song. Do you know about plants? Tell me what you know. So we learned at least 3 uses of plants, and we also learned that most plants, okay, grow from seeds, and the seeds are placed in the soil. They get water, they get sunlight, and over a period of time, they start grow and grow and grow. So you can plant your own seed, boys and girls, and watch it grow into a beautiful plant. It may be a flower, it may grow into a big tree that you can someday use to do different things, like what we learned from our lesson today. So whether it could be a plant that you're going to use to get better when you become sick, that would be for medicine. It could be a plant that you're going to, when it grows one day into a large tree, you could get wood from it to make furniture. It could be a plant that grows into a flower and just makes your environment beautiful. Excellent. So, boys and girls, remember now you can plant your seed, you can watch it grow into a beautiful plant, and you can also use it for the different things that we learned about in class today. Great. So we're moving on to something else now, boys and girls. And guess what we're going to be doing now? We're going to be learning about a special letter. What is a letter? Great. A letter is any one of those from the alphabet. And how many are in the alphabet? Does anyone know? Great. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. And today we're going to be taking one of those letters. We'll have that one finger. Great. We're going to take one of those letters from the alphabet and talk about it. So here's what we're going to be doing now. We're going to be learning the sound that the letter makes. We're going to learn the name of the letter. And we're going to learn about some words that have the beginning sound for that letter. What are we going to be learning about the letter? The name of the letter, the sound the letter makes, and words that begin with that letter sound. But before we go into that, boys and girls, let's do a little song. Anybody know a song that for any letter? Or who wants to make a guess what letter you think we're going to be learning about? Now, one of the last things I spoke about, boys and girls, was that we use seed to plant to get our plants. Now listen to the word seed and see if you can help to figure out what letter we're going to be learning about. Did somebody say letter S? Excellent. Indeed, we're going to be learning about the letter S. So listen to this song now. There is a letter that I know that makes a special sound. S is the sound. S is the sound. S is the sound. Its name is letter S. Want to try that with me? All right. Let's try that again together. There is a letter that I know that makes a special sound. S is the sound. S is the sound. S is the sound, its name is letter S. One more time. There is a letter that I know that makes a special sound. S is the sound, S is the sound, S is the sound, its name is letter S. So in that song, boys and girls, you're going to tell me now, what did we hear in that song? What is the letter that we sang about in that song? Great, we sang about the letter S. And in singing that song, we also made the sound that the letter S makes. And what is that sound? Great, let's make that sound together. Great, so let's do the song one more time. There is a letter that I know that makes a special sound. Is the sound, is the sound, is the sound, its name is letter S. Great. So today we're learning about the letter S, and we're learning about the sound that it makes. And what sound letter S makes? Very good. Now we have learned the name of the letter and the sound that the letter makes. Now we need to see what the letter looks like. But before I show you the letter, I'm sure you know what it looks like as well. Can you describe what it looks like? So I'm going to use my finger to do a demonstration of the letter S. So I'm going to go around, down, and around. Let's try it again. So I go from the top and I go around, down, and around. Great, the letter S. Now let me show you on my card what the letter S looks like. I'm sure in your space where you are, you may have the letter S also there. And if you don't have it, you could write it on a sheet of paper, boys and girls. You could use a crayon, you could use paint and make the letter S. So we could go from the top, round, down, and around. Great. So let's make the S sound again. And now let's go to some words that begin with the letter S. Now, usually, boys and girls, in the morning when I wake, it's so early, I don't get to see this beautiful thing. But as the morning gets older, I see a bright shining coming out from the sky. What do you think I'm talking about? The sun. Very good. Say that word with me. Sun. Let's say that word one more time. Sun. Do we hear the S sound when we say sun? Great. And where do we hear that S sound? Wonderful. We hear that S sound at the beginning. And we could use another word. We could say we hear it at the front. The first sound we hear is the letter S, is the sound. So sun begins with the letter S. Let's repeat that together. Sun begins with the letter S, or we could say sun begins with the S sound. What else do we have around us that begin with the letter S? All right. I have some other cards here, boys and girls, that begin with the S sound. Now look at this. I hope I'm not scaring you with this. All right? This is actually what? A snake. Now when you say snake, do we hear the S sound? Great. And where do we hear that S sound? At the beginning. Now while we're looking at these words, boys and girls, we're going to keep singing our song to remind us of the sound that letter S makes. So let's go. There is a letter that I know that makes a special sound. Is the sound, is the sound, is the sound, its name is letter S. Let's go to another picture. And I do hope I'm not scaring you with this one either. What is this one? Spider. Let's say that together. Spider. Do we hear the S sound when you say spider? Great. So let's sing while we look at this picture now. There is a letter that I know that makes a special sound. Is the sound, is the sound, is the sound, its name is letter S. And if you look carefully, realize, boys and girls, that the S sound is at the beginning. So Here's a picture of the sound I spoke about first. Are you seeing this? And maybe where you are now, I don't know if the sun has come out as yet. All right, where I am now, I'm not able to see it, but maybe where you are able to see the rays from the sun shining and making everywhere looks bright. So sun begins with the letter S. Let's look back at our letter S. Let's now use our fingers, boys and girls, and make the shape for letter S. Starting at the top, we go around, we go down and around. That's our letter S. Now here I have my letter S in a dotted form. That means we use some little dots to shape up the letter. Now what I want you to do now, boys and girls, to get your paper and you can make some dots to shape out your letter S. Then you can use your crayons or you could use paint on your finger to do finger painting and trace around the letter S. So here's my letter S and I'm using my finger, watch me now, to trace around my letter S. And while I'm doing it, we could always sing a song, right? There is a letter that I know that makes a special sound. S is the sound, S is the sound, S is the sound, its name is letter S. Now, boys and girls, there are many other words that begin with the S sound that I don't have here today, but you could tell me about some of them just now. All right, when you're getting ready for school and before you put on your shoe, what do you put on your feet? Socks. Excellent. Great. What about when mama making drink? Sometimes she uses special flavor to sweeten the drink. Syrup. Do you know syrup? Yes, that's another S word. What else could you come up with that S sound? There are many other words with the S sound. So when we are preparing ourselves to get our bath, after we get our bodies wet, we usually put something on our rag and then we put it on our bodies. What am I talking about? Soap. Very good. Soap also begins with the S sound. And when we go to the beach, perhaps we have not gone to the beach for a long time, don't it? Right. But when we do get the chance to go to the beach, at the beach, on the shore, what do we have on the shore? Sand. Very good. And sand begins with the S sound. Let's sing again. And there is a letter that I know has a special sound. S is the sound. S is the sound. S is the sound. Its name is letter S. All right. So we know that sun begins with the letter S. Spider begins with the S sound. Snake begins with the S sound. And there are some others that we just talked about that we don't have here with pictures. Socks begin with the S sound. Syrup begins with the S sound. Sand begins with the S sound. Soap begins with the S sound. When we call these words, boys and girls, the first sound we hear is the letter S. That means that letter S is at the beginning. I know a letter, it makes a special sound. Make the sound with me, it goes S, 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 S. What's the name of the letter that says S, S, S? Its name is letter S, right? So we can make up different songs about letter S. All right, and we can make up different activity about the letter S. So there is a letter that I know that makes a special sound. S is the sound. S is the sound. S is the sound. Its name is letter S. What's the name of the letter, boys and girls? S. Excellent. So we're going to be taking a break and we will be back soon. So please come back and join us shortly when we come back for continuing our wonderful lesson about plants. All right, so we'll be back soon.